Hi Joe, how are you?
All right, Joseph, yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Have you I don't think I've seen you since you've been on holiday.
No, you're right. You haven't. Although I have seen you.
Have you?
Yeah, I drove past the club on Friday morning at about 10 o'clock,
All right.
and you were just running out of the drive.
Oh yeah, it was windy on Friday morning.
Yeah, it was very windy. I did think, you might get blown off in that wind.
If only.
Hey, language, language.
Gordon, Gordon, send more house to save the house.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Housecast. This is the Lowerhouse Cricket Club podcast, which we've revamped a little bit. So, in short, we're going to really endeavour to do one every month at the end of the month so we can do the drawing it, even if it's only one or two of us, and talk a little bit more about the cricket news within Lowerhouse and within Lancs League. So, I'd like to thank the hosts who are coming on to help. I'd like to mention that Gav promised the earth and said he was coming on and then cried off at the last minute, but we've got Gary on. Hiya, Gaz.
Evening, Jez. Evening, Joe.
We've got
I
Joe
guess.
Beneducci on.
That wasn't me
Hey, Jez,
stuttering, by the way.
is Gav not here because he's on dog walking duties, or?
No, he's got there's a big shop on most Mondays. And you can
Right,
imagine
okay.
Gav's big shop's quite substantial.
Yeah, ready meals. I bet he gets a load of ready meals.
Yeah, 4 a day, yeah. And Joe Martin. Hey,
Hi
Joe.
Jess, how are you?
Yeah, all good. All good, thank you. Yeah, a bit of a bug last week, but I'm coming through it. You'd be always pleased to know.
I'm pleased, Jess. Do you still have my key?
Yes, I do. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to get one cut.
Have you?
That's a bit naughty. Have you got another one or not?
No, I've borrowed my brother's.
That's a bit naughty. That if you get one cut, I'll get yours back to you, or I'll get one. Whoever gets one cut first, let's let the other one know.
Okay. I imagine you're going to get one cut before me.
Okay. So we'll anyway. Everyone will be really pleased with that. So we're going to do the draw tonight. We're going to talk about the news, as I've said, but I'd also like us just to have a little discussion. I am really impressed, and a lot of the listeners will have noticed this, but I am really impressed with the way the club's gone about the sponsorships that have occurred over the last. I think it's an initiative that started probably 2 months ago. I've no doubt Matt Stanley and Frank were heavily involved, and then Adam Holt's got involved to spread the word around and liaise with getting the money in. Do you know much about it, Joe Martin?
I know a little bit about it.
Okay, I mean, there's nothing really I want to promote at this stage. We will promote it as the season goes on, and we will give shout outs to the very generous sponsors that have come in and sponsored. But if I've missed anything, Joe, just give us a shout. So we were looking for sponsors for the live stream. We were looking for sponsors for all the players. We were looking for sponsors, obviously, for match balls, for games, for the hospitality, etc. Is there anything else you can think of, Duke or Joe Martin, that I've missed?
Did you say the players?
Yeah, players have all got getting
All right, yeah, absolutely. You have to address me now as Joe Martin, sponsored by Burnley Tyre and Battery, on all discussion.
But yeah, so much so that I've had an individual, I think that's the best way of describing them, contact me and say that how fantastic it is that the club are going down this route of getting sponsorship for players, etc., etc. And he brought up the subject of what we would have been sponsored. And when I say we, I mean the likes of me and Gary. And I'll I'll just throw a couple out there, but it's maybe something we could develop on for the next few episodes. For some reason, this individual chose the 1997 season, and the opening batter was sponsored by Leeds and Liverpool Canal Tours, and you get a discount if you use the code #Barjas.
Right, well, can I guess who's come up with this already? Because I was going to guess it were one of the two opening batters who's come up with it, and therefore I'm now guessing that it's opening batter come groundsman who's come up with this list.
Well, I'll give you what his sponsorships would have been, and then see if you
Okay.
again. It was just for men, black hair dye. And if you use the code #It'sNatural, you get a discount. So no, it's not either of those two.
Obviously not, Stan. No.
No, the professional got 5 or 6 different sponsorship deals, but I'm not prepared to read them out just yet until you vet them between you. And I'm not the only culpable one. But we've had a real laugh about it over the last few, probably 10 days with him. So it was good fun.
Chippy?
Must have been Chippy. Chippy.
Yeah.
Third guess. But thanks to the sponsors, it really is, it's a measure of where we're actually going to, and how well the club is doing. Certainly with the running of the committee and all the other people that are doing all the work and helping out. So great work. We will be giving shouts out to all the sponsors. I mean, the podcast is sponsored. We may be having a look at that as well.
I know you mentioned him briefly, Jez. But this is probably a lot of credit needs to go to your Adam for this, because the only reason that firms are prepared to part with the cash to sponsor players and live streams and stuff like that is because of how much exposure the club gets on social media, on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that. So that a lot of credit has to go to Adam. This is majority of it's down to him, I'd guess, really.
Yeah, fair play, and he does keep me up to date with it, and he's keen on, he loves getting it in, and everyone's a bonus in it. So thanks for that, Dooch. Yeah, so a big shout out to Adam Paul, who runs our website. Get on it if you're not on it. Go and have a look at the updates that come on, and obviously through the season, all the scores and everything else that are on there. Really make fantastic reading.
Oh dear, Jess, that cough's not good.
No, it's on its way. It's
All
going.
right, you need to get that looked into. Oh my God, what's that?
Is it?
Purely medicinal.
Vimto.
Yeah.
Vimto.
Delicious. That's all I drink, Jez.
Really? Is it good for you?
I don't know.
Look like a blackcurrant Thatcher's to me.
But you'd know that from being down there. No, there's no Vimto.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely Vimto. So let's just have a quick look. The reason I've done this, and again, I think you hosts will bring it up if it is becoming non-relevant to Lowerhouse. But some people want us to talk about what's going on in the league and how the things are developing within other clubs and significant professionals or transfers, etc. And the one I want to bring up and just discuss with us all is the situation at East Lancs. It would appear, I mean, I know that they've been in the second division for quite a while and struggled a little bit. I chat quite a lot to some of the lads from East Lancs, and they brought Joe Scuderi in as a coach. I mean, there's listeners will no doubt know Joe has got to be in the top 5 best ever pros in the league. When you think of the amount of runs he got playing for, and Gaz will have to help me if I've missed any here. Obviously, predominantly pro'd at Nelson for a long, long time, and then I think he had a stint at Colne for full time. I think he had a stint at. Did he have a stint at Aslington?
Yeah,
probably. I don't know if it were a full season, but I think he worked pro.
Yeah, so that's an interesting move. They've appointed him as senior coach for the first 2 months of the season. But in the same vein, before we start to discuss it and think of the logic behind it, from what I'm looking at from the website, I don't think they're having a pro this year.
Well, they've signed an overseas amateur, but I think Norden did that a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Um, so I think if you depends what you need really at the end of the day, doesn't it? I
yeah.
think whatever's going to be best for your club.
I mean, he's a what level coach is he, Joe? I mean, he's
Joe
up.
will be, yeah, he'll be level 3, I would have thought at least.
Yeah.
And obviously extremely knowledgeable as well. He's done some coaching at Lowerhouse,
Oh, right,
as
okay.
well. Um, and he was a fantastic cricketer. I can't really remember him. I can kind of remember him playing, but I remember him playing more at Ribblesdale Wanderers, I think, when he pro'd there, in the Rib League for a few years. I don't think he was bowling as much then because he was supposed to be a very good bowler and pretty sharp as well. So, but he was supposed to be an unbelievable batter, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Gary will vouch for it with me, and I'm sure Gary's got a story or two. He was without doubt one of the best in the league at winning games. He was a winner of how he got. I mean, the runs he used to get against us, Gary. I mean, it wasn't just us, but it felt like it was us every game. If you got him out for a ton, you were happy.
Yeah, you just knew, and he come in, and he knew and all, and he wouldn't take any risks in the
No.
first 7, 8 overs, and then all of a sudden, if his first couple of fours or whatever, if he hadn't been gifted any or it, but that type of thing, and he was just away, and before you knew it, he's scoring at a silly rate and making you look, flogging your rank field on probably at Otterstone. And weight fixtures used to be back then those days, seriously. July and August or something, we're always like Azzy back to Elson back to back, Baker back to back, who were like
Yeah.
3 of the strongest teams. Rishton probably when they had like Sleepy and Phil Simmons and all this sort of carry on. And we were given the runaround for about 8 weeks, solid. Seriously, it was not an enjoyable time of the season. And we play first 3 games, it'd be like Aki away, East Lancs away, somebody else, Enfield or something like that. Wet through, miserable, grey. Oh dear. Yeah, it wasn't fun. I wonder if he ever found his long lost. Did he have a long lost relative in Scotland or something? He were trying to track.
Yeah, I think he had. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if he ever.
He went up with Cameron, didn't he?
That's right.
With Cameron. Cameron were looking for some of his relatives. Joe McScudura.
Joe Max Scuderi went up to try and find him. He was big mates with Cameron. I forgot about that, Gary. There was that other incident, weren't there, with Cameron?
There was the other incident. You're probably better positioned to talk about that than me, Jess, I think. But anyway. But yeah, no, Scuderi was a good one. I mean, I don't know the details behind his signing at East Lancs. The first 2 months, and you don't know whether that's just because of his availability or the money East Lancs have got, or what the actual objective is. Is that just to take a look at the first and second 11 squads in match situations, and then come up with targets or training plans or coaching plans for them, or what? Do we know anything on what the objective is between signing him, other than a bit of headlines?
Not that it's just straight what I've got from the website. I just think it's a progressive move. If they're thinking they need to get their amateurs up to a certain level and get a good coaching, rather than spending it all on a pro. I don't know. What do you think, Joe Martin?
Yeah, I mean, he did move back to Australia, I think,
yeah, he did,
a few years ago. So I don't know whether it's coincided with him being here or whether he's moved back. I don't know. But if you can get the coaching structure right within a club, I think you'll always be in a stronger position. So it's a good move, I think.
Yes, and certainly long term, I guess. If you are looking at the youngsters, we've benefited for that for the last couple of decades now. I mean, he did sub pro for us on quite a few occasions, I think, Gaz.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and always did a great job. A lovely lad. On 2 occasions, he sub pro for us. Any figures, anything, Dooch?
Yeah. He played 2 games for us and scored 191 runs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more than I got most seasons. And he only played,
So
he only played 2 games.
We're probably about 12,000 in deficit.
Yeah.
He got 84 not out against Enfield, and we won, chasing 183. Let's have a look at any bowling figures that day. Jezzo up 2 for 46.
Ball, Jez.
And he played for us against Aslington. Another win for the house. He got 107 not out that day.
Yeah.
Out of 188.
Yeah.
And then we bowled Azzy out for 166. Jezzo up 2 for 43.
Ball, Jez.
Yeah, he was just a match winner, wasn't he? You think now, I'm sure he would have been paid well. He had contracts at Lancashire, didn't he? And yeah, was a top bloke. Do you remember the time when he fell out with me, Gaz?
I don't think so, Jez. No.
It was wet through. We were getting beat. We were getting hammered, and it was absolutely soaking. It literally water, everywhere, running through puddles, and I kept falling over on my run up. And he had a real do at me up pitch, proper. He called me up names under the sun, and at the end of it, Blaise will still laugh his head off. He called me weak as piss. But we've chatted since, and we got over it. Does anyone know what his hobby is away from playing cricket?
I do. He's a drummer, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
He's a big Kiss fan.
that's right. Massive Kiss fan, and he was drumming for the punk band who were better than your Uncle Ian's band and Shares Market. I can't remember what they called. Shyster.
Yeah,
okay.
Martin Heat was the singer, wasn't he? He was also Nelson lad. And what was the guitarist? Some Gary Grimshaw.
I can't remember. But anyway, good luck, Joe. I don't know if you'll ever listen to this, but good luck in that venture, and good on your East Lancs for bringing that up. And I suppose whilst we're on coaches, did you see that Mark Aspin's been appointed the coach of Enfield? Which have you done any coaching with Mark, Joe?
Yeah, I know him very well.
Yeah, a good player.
He was a good player as well, wasn't he? Yeah.
Church, and I think he played a bit at Accrington. So he was coaching at Clitheroe last year, wasn't he?
Well, I think he's coached everywhere.
Well,
How many Lancashire League clubs would he have coached at now, would you think? Because he seems to have been around a bit.
Yeah. He's a very good coach.
He almost signed for us, Joe.
Did he?
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
He's never mentioned that.
We were in very, very sort of, I won't say detailed talks, but it got to the point where he wasn't happy at church, and we found out, and I had probably about 7 or 8 calls with him, something like that. Yeah, I'm coming. No, I don't know now, all that. In the end, he stayed at church, but I think he was genuinely looking to leave at church at that point, and almost came to us.
I do remember that, Gary. Now, I'd never have brought that up before. I've never have thought of that before. So good luck, Mark, in your stint.
I think he coached Todmorden last year.
I thought you were
Yeah, he did. And he's definitely done Clitheroe before.
He did Clitheroe, and I'm pretty sure he had a Todmorden cap on for the Worsley Cup last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe it's the same cap. Maybe he just has the Velcro for the badge.
Yeah, maybe.
He's a good coach, though, Jez.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, he started doing it as a real young age. He proed a little bit, didn't he? And I think in Rosedale League, I think it was there. Yeah, a good player, he's Mark. Yeah, very consistent. And then the other one, just the last one from me from the news that I wanted to talk about, because I don't look enough, right? So this is probably sounding a bit selfish. I don't look enough at the opposition and the figures and who's good players and who's not good players. I know you do that douche with Manage and with Ben and with the Pro and others to enhance the knowledge around the opposition team. But I find that quite interesting. Norden, that the 2 best players have left. Greg Butterworth and Josh Cholley. Joe Martin, are they as good a players as they read in there?
Yeah, very good. Yeah. I think probably Josh Tolley was probably the highest run scoring batter over the past 5 years or so, something like that.
Yeah, it's been between him and Ben, hasn't it? Fairly frequently in recent years. He's a run machine. He's Tolley, definitely a run machine.
He is if he gets on a roll. really hard, really difficult to get out.
Was he skipper as well last year?
No, Greg was captain. I mean, Greg's a good player. I've known Greg a long time. And
he's left as well, Gary. There's the other lad. He's called Greg Butterworth, who was the captain. And
right, okay, get mixed up.
They've both left, and there's 1,500 runs there, isn't there? What Greg Butterworth, just describe what he was like, Joe Martin, as a cricketer, did he get he's a bowler as well.
He was a bowler, yeah. I'd say he was probably more of a bowler than a batter, but was a pretty good batter and would score some important runs. Really effective left arm spinner, could turn the ball. And usually with their attack, especially when they had Asher Zaidi, quite a good partnership, and he's been captain a couple of years, I think. A really, really good player, very good player.
So they'll take some replacing. I don't just mean the players; I mean the numbers. They will take a little bit of replacing.
Yeah, definitely. But they were very good players. So
have you any inside information, Joe Martin?
No.
Would you tell? Would you tell us if you did?
Well, I don't know. I've got a couple of questions in that. Where would I get any inside information from?
Because you're still playing.
Right. Yeah, but I don't. But I play for Lowerhouse.
You're still in that league. You might have friends who were saying there's been a massive.
How long have you known me, Jez, to say you might have friends?
That's where that story all falls down, doesn't it? Unfortunately, all Joe's friends are on this call.
Well, what Gary was saying, I'm not sure about it.
If that.
No, I'm just.
I've heard a little whisper because where Tolly's gone, Exton. Frankie's got some friends at Exton.
Oh yeah,
because he did some coaching there.
He was pro there as well.
Yeah,
and I think
Bushell was pro there, weren't he? Bushell was pro there.
Elton.
Oh, Elton. Sorry.
Josh is originally from around Chorley area, I think. So it's not that far away, I guess, is it, Exton?
So I think I'm right in thinking that Josh Tolley's gone as amateur, but Greg Butterworth has gone as pro to Haywood.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Just some new magnetic lights that have just come. So that's interesting. Have you watched
it? Turned into some kind of lifestyle podcast. You talk about lights and cough. I mean, what else?
Lowerhouse New Year draw, first prize.
Has Greg gone to Hayside or Haywood?
Haywood, it says on the league website.
That's a big old ground.
As pro. They're at Greater Manchester League, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it the one right off the water?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I said yeah, I don't know. My geography's poor, Jez.
Was that the ground when Blaise got run out because he didn't want to get his back? He painted the lines.
Yeah.
He didn't want to touch his back down, and he got run out like the first ball of the innings or something.
Dude, just tell us that story.
We've played at a ground in the Interleague Cup a long time ago. I'm sure it was the same ground.
Okay.
I hope it was, anyway, if I'm going to bore you with this story. But they batted first and got a lot. And Blaise was opening the batting for us.
Yeah, it was. You're right. It was. I've got it here, Joe. I think it was first ball or
the half-time interval, the groundsman readed the white lines, and Blaise didn't want to touch the white lines with his bat. And the ball went through to wicketkeeper, and the wicketkeeper shied at the stumps, and Blaise wasn't in his ground because he didn't want to touch the white paint out. So we were chasing loads, and we were none for one off one ball. That's my memory of it, anyway.
Best batter out.
Yeah.
They got 236, Joe, off 45 overs.
Yeah.
We were 68 all out of 31.
Oh dear. Did Blaise run out for naught?
He was stumped for naught off
Stumped,
Will
alright, okay.
Purser.
All right, there you go.
Right. It might be that story's come out a few times, but it's still done off make me laugh. But it might be we might have to get a list of stories where people can have a right to appeal and get them on and have a right to appeal for the defence.
I don't think he'd appeal that.
No, I think he'd take it.
I think you're probably right.
Tommy Brearley played in that game.
That'd be one of them. You know, we're talking about guess the lineup. That'd be a good one because my memory of that game was it was on a bank holiday Monday, and I don't think many of the Hawke family were playing. Let's put it that way.
Well, only one of them played.
What year was it?
2004 in May.
I hadn't retired, no.
No, yeah. Well, it's, looking at this scorecard, it seems like you might have.
Did I?
No, no, you weren't there. I wasn't saying that as in like
All right. I thought
poorly.
you were having a dig at him there.
Oh no, absolutely not.
10 overs, 123 and on.
Blesbold, 8 overs, 4 for 33.
So they really had to try and make up, didn't he, for his faux pas.
That was second innings. So he went
Second
knackered.
innings.
That will be his excuse.
He wouldn't have wanted to up at batting either, would he?
No, definitely not. So that's it, really. That from my little bit of research around news from the league, there's lots of other stuff on there. So go on the website. Fantastic website done by Nigel Stockley. Really top effort. Does a great job in keeping it up to date. So a shout out to Nigel. Anything else from you three before we move on to the draw?
I was just going to quickly mention while you're on Norden that the pro from last year looks like he's going to be getting in the Australia squad. I know we don't really talk about this stuff normally, but because we've talked about Norden, he got 108 in about 40 balls this morning in the Big Bash final. Mitchell Owen, is it, Joe? Is that what he's called?
Yeah.
And they're talking about him getting in
Norden last year.
In the Aussie squad. Yeah, he did.
He biffed it.
Yeah,
he
got 90 odd against.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
That's some achievement. I mean, whilst we're on it, whilst I'm just setting up the Lowerhouse Draw, Dooch is there because people do ask me, say, why have you not grilled Dooch about any news from the club? Is there any news from the club?
There is no news from the club on the cricket playing side. No, there's been no chat really whatsoever.
Okay.
I'll let you know as soon as I hear anything, Jez. How about
that? It's not just me, because I probably know it. It's the listeners that are sat there waiting to hear breaking news from Dooch, and you disappoint every week.
Sorry, I can't invent stuff. Unfortunately, we haven't made any signings, and we haven't got any that are within touching distance. So, nothing to report.
Has Waterboard been yet?
You should do a weekly gossip column, Joe, of different transfers in and out of Lowerhouse and the other clubs. Like they used to do on CFAX.
Yeah. A column in Burnley Express, the third man, something like that, and
there was there not a Twitter feed about transfers at Lancashire League, which was quite funny actually. There was a lot of
there was a spurious Lancashire League transfers Twitter account, yeah, that was surprisingly accurate. It was obviously somebody in a position of in the know, because they were certainly getting a lot of stuff right. They knew that Johnny was coming back to Lowerhouse long before we'd confirmed it with Johnny.
I've got a bit of an issue here, lads. My spreadsheet's not opening up on my old computer for the draw, but we will manage, because I can get it on my phone, because Gary Morris used to teach me all sorts of good stuff around spreadsheets.
Like what, Cass?
File save.
Joe Martin, if you'll do me your random ball selector.
Yeah.
I'd like to just mention we've got a new member who's joined for this month, Anthony Hayes. He's watched us for quite a while. He lives away from the area, so he listens to the podcast a lot. He keeps up to date and comes on when he can. So good luck, Anthony. Your number is 95. And the prizes will be £100, £80, £70 and £50. So there's 4 prizes, please, Joe. If you'll draw out the first one, which is for £100.
107.
Number 107.
The one at Sims, I reckon.
Mr. Gregory. Mr. Gregory, I haven't got his first name down on this sheet. He hasn't won for about 6 years, so that'll be a real bonus for Mr. Gregory. Thanks very much for joining, and I will.
How long's he been in the draw, Jez?
Well, he last won in 2019, so he's obviously been in since before
Bloody
that.
hell.
He'll be one of Stan's persons that he's got in, so that's fantastic. Well done, Mr. Gregory. £100 coming your way.
I think that's a first. I think it's the first time we've had a draw winner who we don't know his first name. Maybe he's called Gregory. Maybe that is his first name.
Alan Gregory's a member, isn't it?
Is it? It is. Well, it might be Alan then.
Mr. Gregory sounds like a children's TV presenter.
Right, next one, please, Joe, for £80.
Number 89.
Number 89.
We're in business.
All I will say is money goes to money.
Blaise.
Yeah, correct.
I didn't want to say it, but that's what I thought.
Everyone thought it, didn't they? Probably one of the most disappointing numbers to be pulled out there, Joe. No, it's not, Blaise. No, it's not. You've been in for donkey's years. He won in July 24 as well.
I'm going to say I remember texting him recently to tell him he'd won previously. It's not that long ago.
Well, fair enough. It's all random.
Yeah. Just checking, and he does still pay. Next one for £70.
164.
164. These are all a long way off the older numbers, like mine, Gary's, and Joe's. Number 164 is Charlie Bithell.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
Yes, excellent.
Excellent stuff.
Dr.
Bithell.
Yeah, great lad, isn't he? He's comes down with his dad built bonfire, didn't he, on his own?
Did Gav help him?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Gav helped him a bit. Yeah. Last one, Joe, £50.
Number 80.
Number 80 is Jack Lee. Number 80, Jack Lee. So Jack's won not that long ago. He's been a member since January 20, him and his wife, Anne. So that was, sorry, I didn't write that down, Jack Lee, number 80. Thanks very much, Joe Martin, for sorting out the numbers there.
Never a problem.
Look, there's still got a few numbers available if anyone else wants to join. Sorry, Anthony, you didn't win on this draw. But best of luck for future draws. So that's a nice 45-minute episode. So that's fantastic. Great stuff. Thanks, everyone. I will get the money out to the winners as soon as possible in the next day or two. And like I said, don't hesitate to join and give us a shout if you need anything, the bank account details and how it works, and send me an email or contact someone from the club. Anything else from any of the hosts? No, well, thanks, everyone.
Hold on.
Oh, go on.
The presentation is on the 2nd of March, Sunday, the 2nd of March, starting at 2 o'clock. Juniors and seniors. all welcome.
Okay, so the presentation date is Sunday, March the 2nd in the clubhouse.
Correct.
Juniors will commence at 2 p.m. and the seniors should start at around 3 p.m.
Absolutely.
There's quite a few record team performances last season, so the seniors have quite a few mementos to collect. But if anyone's allowed to vote for the player of the year, please send a message to Stan.
Yeah.
I know all that detail, Joe Martin, because Stan sent it to the wrong group today. Which he does on a regular basis.
He's got a lot going on.
He's dropped a few WhatsApp-related clangers, hasn't he, in the recent memory? The surprise birthday party was the best one.
Oh, yeah.
It was booked by Sam for Sam's surprise. I don't know which birthday it was. I won't like to speculate, but it was a surprise birthday party for Sam Smith, and Stan sent the message to the bar staff group, which Sam is on, and it was a surprise party. Oops.
Yeah, it was about 3 months before the event. Sam's husband, it was a significant birthday. Sam's husband was trying to get as many people there as possible. She's taken over the running of the social side, so it was going to be a really big, fantastic surprise, once in a lifetime type of event, and Stan ruined it within 3 days.
I just remembered, Jez, actually, but sorry to just go back to the Blaise winning the cash in the draw story, but he probably needs it, doesn't he, after his Domino's performance Christmas drink. Just for people who don't know, we played Domino's for a good few hours. I'd say probably 3 or 4 hours we played Domino's, and Blaise didn't win a single hand. And he did blame Jez quite heavily for that.
Because I was playing proper Domino's and stopping him from playing.
Yeah, and that's 2 years on the trot. He's had a bad do, as we've discussed previously on this podcast. So his 80 quid that he's won on this draw might just get him back to somewhere near level off his domino bets.
Did you not have your hoodie on again this year, Jez?
Did I have me what?
Hoodie on.
Did you not have your hoodie on this year?
No, he had a different tactic this year, Gary. He waited for quite a while. He waited till quite late in the piece before he came over and played. I think he was sort of stalking from the other side of the room, looking for a weak spot, and then he found a spare seat at the table when we were all pissed.
I'd say it was a good hour before he joined my table.
Watching everybody's tactics.
Well,
I was chatting to Tony Woodworth, actually, and Tony's not a big Domino's darts cards player, so I wanted to carry on chatting with Tony.
That's fair enough, Jez. Are you a good Domino's player, Gary? No, me neither. I don't bother. I don't even play.
No.
The year before, Gary, Blaise owed John Dawson, the legendary mechanic, £124.68 for his. It was part of the exhaust that he'd repaired for him, and Blaise lost it on Domino's.
That's to write him a check.
Lindsay don't know about that though, so keep it quiet.
We won't mention it on here.
No.
Oh, funny.
It was a good day, that actually. It went. It wasn't too late, and got a nice, a lovely kebab, Joe. You did a great job there.
Yeah, it was your Matt who sorted it out, but he's key people in key roles. I think if you need someone to order your kebab, you get Matt to do it, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking actually, what is? I think going back to the start of the programme, the sponsors was Oddies on Coquelin Lane.
Oddies,
Sponsored man, Matt.
What was I going to say then, Jess? What were you talking about? I've completely lost what you're talking about then. Oh, that's what you were going to say. No, yeah, I've never had a kebab. I don't know. But we haven't had our live curry episode yet.
No, we haven't, no.
So,
Well, let's try and line it up. February. I'd love it if
Food for thought, literally.
If we could coincide it, for when Gary comes
Oh,
up.
of course. Yeah, absolutely.
He deserves it. He deserves. I mean, let's mention that. I know we're embarrassing him on here, but the fact that from over 300 miles away, we were all paid a couple of pints on by Gary, which was very, very well received.
Wonderful gesture. Very kind, Gary.
It was.
All right, help the day go smoothly, lads. Not a problem.
It was. It will look. So yeah, let's have a look at Housecast eating. We could call it.
The tucking.
Housecast tucking. Yeah. No doubt the CEO will turn up for that though. The director.
Yeah, I thought so. And why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? So we'll close the episode. Anything from anyone before we shut it down? No.
Tom, AJ, thanks.
Thanks very much, everyone, for listening.
Gordon, send Morehouse to save the house. Come on, the house!
So I have nothing else.
Yes, can I stop you there?
Of course you
Are
can.
you going playing darts afterwards?
I'm not, no.
Just sit back a bit.
Yeah, it looks like he's got his sponsors on, doesn't it?
Oh, Jez, what would your darts nickname be?
Yeah. The legend. Yes, the legend Hope.
I'm just trying to keep warm, Gary. I'm struggling.
Right.
I'm not as young as I was, and I've had a bit of a cold, so I've had to put an overshirt on, and this is the only one I could find at the last minute because we brought the draw forward early so you can watch football.
And you're going to darts afterwards.